Salam. Hello everyone. My name is Samra Teddingwali and I am from Kasur, Punjab, Pakistan. I'm 19-year old and today I will be talking with ChatGPT about a very peaceful and meaningful topic. How less can lead to more. In a world full of noise, busyness, and distractions, sometimes having less actuals give us more pieces, more focus, or more happiness. Let's explore how to simplifying our lives can help us growth and life better. So let's start. Hi ChatGPT, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear. How's it going?
ChatGPT, what does the phrase less is more really means in simple words?
Absolutely. The phrase less is more basically means that simplicity can lead to greater impact. In other words, having fewer things or keeping things simpler often results in better quality and more clarity.
Okay. ChatGPT, why do people often feel that having more things or doing more makes them successful?
That's a great question. Often people associate success with quantity or busyness because of societal norms or cultural expectations. We tend to think that more work, more possessions, or more accomplishments equals greater achievement. But in reality, focusing on quality, meaningful work, and balance often leads to more genuine success and fulfillment.
How can lives with less bring more pieces and happiness into our lives?
Living with less can definitely bring more peace and happiness by reducing stress and clutter. When we have fewer possessions, we often spend less time maintaining them and more time enjoying experiences or focusing on relationships. It also helps us appreciate what we have and live more intentionally, which can lead to a greater sense of fulfillment and inner peace.
Why do people often feel that having more things or doing more makes them successful?
A lot of it comes down to societal conditioning and cultural values. Many people grow up believing that success is measured by material wealth, possessions, or constant productivity. So there's this notion that the more we have, or the busier we are, the more accomplished we are. Over time, that belief gets reinforced and it becomes a kind of standard. But of course, it's not always the case that more equals better.
What are some small ways we can simply our daily routine?
There are lots of small ways. For example, you could declutter your living space by keeping only the essentials, simplify your schedule by prioritizing tasks and saying no to less important commitments, or even streamline your meals by planning simple, nutritious recipes. Another idea is to limit your screen time and focus on mindfulness practices like meditation. Little changes can make a big difference over time.
Okay. Can minimize help us become more focused and creative?
Absolutely. When we minimize distractions and reduce clutter, it's a lot easier to concentrate on what truly matters. With fewer things competing for our attention, our minds can focus more deeply, which often leads to better creativity and problem solving. Plus, a simpler environment can help reduce stress, making it easier for new ideas to flow.
Why does saying no to necessary things help us grow?
Saying no to unnecessary things helps us grow by freeing up our time, energy, and mental space for what truly matters. It allows us to focus on our priorities, build deeper relationships, and invest in personal growth. Over time, this intentional approach leads to more meaningful experiences, less overwhelm, and ultimately a more fulfilling and balanced life.
What's the difference between living simple and living without ambitions?
That's a really insightful question. Living simply is more about minimizing excess and focusing on what truly adds value to your life while still having goals and dreams. On the other hand, living without ambitions means not setting or pursuing goals at all. So, living simply doesn't mean giving up on ambition, it's more about aligning your ambitions with what truly matters and avoiding unnecessary complexity.
Okay. How can simplifying our goals help achieve more meaningful success?
When we simplify our goals, it becomes easier to focus our energy and efforts on what truly matters. This clarity helps us avoid distractions and stay motivated. It also allows us to measure progress more easily and celebrate small wins along the way. Ultimately, this leads to a deeper sense of fulfillment and more meaningful success because we're not just chasing after everything, but focusing on what truly aligns with our values and vision.
Okay. How can less help improve our mental health and reduce stress?
Living with less can really lighten the mental load by reducing clutter and distractions, which in turn helps clear our minds and reduce anxiety. When we have fewer possessions or commitments, we're less likely to feel overwhelmed and more able to be present in the moment. This simplicity can also foster a sense of calm and help us build healthy habits, ultimately improving our mental well being and reducing stress.
How can less help improve our mental health and reduce stress?
Absolutely. When we embrace less, it helps cut down on the constant bombardment of stimuli and reduces decision fatigue, which can really lighten our mental load. With fewer distractions and less clutter, we can focus better, feel more in control, and experience more peace. This simplicity also encourages mindfulness and allows us to prioritize self care, ultimately leading to reduced stress and better mental well being.
What are some habits of people who lives a simple and balanced life?
People who live simple and balanced lives often have a few common habits. For example, they tend to prioritize routines like morning or evening rituals that bring calm and clarity. They also tend to declutter regularly, keeping their spaces tidy and intentional. They usually practice mindfulness, whether through meditation, journaling, or simply being present in the moment. Another common habit is setting clear priorities and learning to say no to non essentials. They also often focus on meaningful relationships and self care, and they embrace a mindset of gratitude and contentment.
How can students or younger people apply these ideas in their studies and career?
For students and younger people, they can start by simplifying their study environment, keeping their workspace organized and free from distractions. They can also set clear, manageable goals and break them down into smaller, actionable steps. Prioritizing tasks and using time management techniques like the Pomodoro method can help maintain focus. They can also embrace mindfulness practices like short meditation breaks to reduce stress. Building healthy routines like regular sleep and balanced meals can also support their mental and physical well-being. And of course, cultivating meaningful relationships and networking can help them stay grounded and motivated.
Mm,
You're welcome.
okay. What roles does gratitude play in living with less?
Gratitude really plays a huge role because it shifts our focus from what we lack to what we already have. When we practice gratitude, we become more content with less and appreciate the simple things in life. This mindset not only reduces the urge to constantly acquire more, but also enhances our overall well being and happiness. In essence, gratitude helps us find fulfillment in the present moment, making it easier to live simply and meaningfully.
Okay, ChatGPT, finally. ChatGPT, what's your message for everyone who want to live more peaceful and focused life?
I'd say that embracing simplicity is all about being intentional and mindful in every aspect of life. Focus on what truly matters, appreciate what you have, and let go of what doesn't serve you. By simplifying your environment, your goals, and your daily habits, you can create space for clarity, peace, and genuine joy. Remember, it's not about having less for the sake of it, but about making room for more of what truly enriches your life.
Okay, thank you so much, ChatGPT. Today I learned that less does not mean losing. It means gaining space for what truly matters. To everyone watching, start small, uh, declares your space, claim your minds, and focus on what's bring you enjoy. Because sometimes less really leads to more. If you like these conservations, don't forget like, shares and comments below. See you in the next video. Bye bye.
That was beautifully put. I'm so glad you found it helpful and absolutely that mindset shift